It's a deeper shade of soul. Yeah. How's it going, Family Ding Dong? I'm here playing a crazy little thing called Demon Souls. Last episode, the Penetrator became the Penetrated, and we rescued a couple friends, Bior, who we've gotten a little assistance from with that particular boss in question, and our witchy friend over here, who we have not yet made a proper introduction to. So let's do that.
Hello again. You saved me from great agony. I am sorry, for I cannot offer proper thanks. If you wish, however, I can teach you magic and trade for demon souls. But my witchcraft is of a dark nature, and arouses suspicions. Why not try the magic of Great Sage Frake?
Well, that would be because Sage Frake is currently held prisoner to the best of our knowledge, and you are not.
Are you certain you wish to learn witchcraft? It would honor me to assist one such as you, but... are you sure?
Sure, I'm sure. And in the upper left, we see that this is Yuria the Witch. Hey, I know a kung fu guy with giant eyebrows and a leather jacket who's been looking for you.
Once, I lusted after the power offered by demon souls. I ventured through the fissure into Boletaria, but became trapped in the Nexus. Then the king's executioner Miralda chained me up inside that tower. My thirst for demon souls is no more. On the contrary, I find such power dangerous.
The Executioner Miralda. That's someone we've been seeing in the load screens. Wonder if we'll cross paths with that particular individual sometime in the future. Spoiler, yes.
Frake wields a different type of magic from my witchcraft. Frake's magic stems from an understanding of the essence of the demon soul, while my witchcraft merely channels its energy. If the demon is cursed, so shall be the witchcraft. Frake's power comes from human potential, while mine is a dark, dependent art.
Yuria seems to have a little bit of a self-esteem issue when it comes to her own school of magic.
If the demon is cursed, Frake's power comes...
All the same, let's see what she has to offer. First of all, for the Armor Spider Soul, we can get Ignite, which is basically Great Combustion. Only melee-type range, but it's very, very painful. Then for the Dragon God Soul, you may have remembered me mentioning that the Dragon God Soul is for the really big offensive spells. Well, we saw that it can be used for Wrath of God, and here we see Firestorm, the first appearance of a spell that would go on to be a Souls series standby. Just like the other Souls games, Firestorm causes a series of fire columns to explode at random in a certain area around you, so its accuracy is pretty unreliable, but you can make magic so powerful in Demon Souls by stacking a few magic buffs and universal damage buffs. Firestorm can get to the point where killing a boss with a single cast of it is well within reach, so it can be pretty sick. Downside is it takes 3 magic slots, and we only have 1, I believe. Finally, there is Cursed Weapon. This will enchant your weapon with magic damage, but while the damage is very good, you will gradually take damage. Oh, that takes 3 slots too. Wow, I didn't remember it being that expensive. Anywho, the nice thing about Cursed Weapon is that I'm pretty sure the damage buff is flat, not affected by your magic stat. So if you're able to get together 3 slots but don't have a whole lot of magic in your statistics, which seems unlikely, but if that's the case, then you'll get the best out of this spell anyway. Also, the amount of damage you take over time from it can actually be minimized in kind of a strange way, and I'll see if I can take a look at that later. Right now, though, I don't think we really need to trade any of this. We can hang on to these and see what our future options are, because Well, these are all a little expensive in terms of attunement slots, and we're really not a big spellcaster. Matter of fact, Firestorm and Cursed Weapon cost more to cast than our entire max MP. This is going to be one of those days for English. Also, I just noticed at the end of the item description here, or the spell description as the case may be, that sword has cut through many warriors a temp. Yeah, the Asia localization is not always brilliant.
I owe my life to you. If you're ever in need of witchcraft, speak to me. It is a dark art, but it is all that I can offer.
Oh, Yuria, you really need to work on that self-esteem of yours, but you're a sweetheart. Glad I rescued you. And in rescuing her, I think Bjorn might have something to say about that.
Beware the...
No? Okay. I'm pretty sure I've heard him have dialogue about Yuria before, but I'm not sure what triggers it. Alright, another bit of business we can attend to. We have a rather impressive loadout of souls from killing Penetrator. Although, one moment, I'm not sure if the Penetrator's soul can be traded to Urbane for anything, so I want to check on that.
Do you have...
Nope, that's a negative. Okay.
Yes, but you must...
Alright then, let's do some levels.
Thou seekest then
You bet I do.
soul of the mind, key to life's ether,
And we'll start by bumping our decks, give ourselves a little more attack power.
drawn from its vessel. Let strength
Vitality and endurance are always good to have. And looks like we can afford one more, so we'll even dexterity up with our other two main stats. And there we go.
Art thou done? Main
Ooh, you know what? It just occurred to me. I'm alive. After killing Penetrator, we are back in body form. And we are trying to move Stonefang toward black tendency, so I'm going to go ahead and snuff myself there. And then we'll head back here and see what's what. And we're back. Now in soul form once again. If I check world tendency, Stonefang, I think, is a little bit down from its pure white level. At least it should be, since I died there in body form. You will also notice that Boletarian Palace is looking pretty bright. Killing 3 bosses is normally sufficient to bring you up to pure white world tendency, unless online server type stuff moves it in the other direction. So, there is a pure white world tendency event in Boletarian Palace that we can do right now. And I think I will. Okay, you will remember there is a gate off to the left. Let's see if we have to deal with any Dreglings first. There's one. Oh, hi there, friend. At least they're doing very little damage to me these days. As I was saying, off to the left here there's a gate, which was previously closed, and I mentioned it would open for pure white or pure black. And now, indeed it is open. Now, once it's open, it stays that way. Changes in world tendency will not cause it to close again, but if we come back in pure black, we can do a different thing on the other side of it. But that is a bridge to be crossed well into the future. For now, we're going to do the pure white thing. I done heard a noise. Who's messing around over there? Oh, I see a gecko. We'll have to be careful about that one. As I believe we are about to have a few friends beam in. Oh, is there any kind of tasty over here? This really looks like a place something should be hidden. It doesn't look like there is. Curious. I actually don't remember this little thing over here. You'd really think they'd put a treasure or something there. Anyway, it occurs to me we have a couple of rings that we haven't looked at yet, so let's take an eyeball at those real quick, like. Ring of the Accursed, I think, was one of the new ones we got. Makes the player the enemy's top attack priority. Once used to signify criminals. The bearer of this ring was continuously pelted with stones and spat on. Oh dear. Yep, this just makes you draw aggro, which can be useful for multiplayer. There's something else we picked up. Some kind of... yeah, here we go, a Ring of Magical Nature. Increases the capacity for magic spells a character can learn. Legend tells that a cursed witch will be born holding it, becoming an object of recusal in savage lands. I wonder if Yuria was born holding it. We found it pretty close to her, didn't we? Anyway, that gives you an extra magic attunement slot. Potentially useful for us somewhere in the future. Now then, as I was saying, I do believe we're going to have a few friends gating in pretty soon. Well, not quite yet, I guess. So let's see if we can plug that gecko from afar, so we don't get interrupted trying to chase it down. Oh, this is so fiddly. There we go. Oh, one shot. Good. All those bow upgrades have not gone to waste. Here we are, our first Black Phantom enemies. Usually Black Phantom normal enemies will only appear in pure Black World tendency, but there are a few cases where they show up under other circumstances. But Black Phantom Dreglings are still Dreglings, and as such, pretty manageable. I wonder what this last one will be. An unknown soldier's soul, imagine that. It's like we have some gallows, possibly some poles for gibbets. Yeah, this would be the Boletarian Palace execution grounds. Ooh, large splinters of hard stone. Always glad to see those. Any I don't have to buy from Filthy down in the lava hellscape is fine by me. Oh wow, lots of you guys. I still go down in one, which is very convenient. They seem to be very reliable about dropping single crescent moongrasses. Now, those are eternally useful for out-of-battle healing. And we're building up a pretty good supply of them, so hooray for that. Okay, where am I going from here? Do I go down and around, or is there something up here? Don't remember this area in great detail. I think I need to go down and around, because I do not see another way of advancing at the moment. Is this right? Yeah, I think this is right. Now, there is an NPC coming up whose dialogue will sometimes trigger and sometimes not. It's a little buggy that way. So if we do not hear this NPC's dialogue, then I will edit it in post. Not sure exactly where they activate, so just wanted to make sure I mentioned that before we got to that point. I can't climb up here, and it doesn't look like there's anything there anyway. Oh, I could have gone just up this way, couldn't I? I am observant and clever. This is where we need to be. Okay. And this is right about where that NPC should activate, so we will see if the dialogue thing actually works. I know you're in here. Where are you? There she is. And her dialogue did not activate. That is not terribly unusual. This, in any case, is Executioner Miralda, who had imprisoned Yuria. Pretty fitting that we'd find the Executioner here on the execution grounds. She's got a big-ass axe, but she is not really all that super strong. And boy, does she ever get fucked up by a backstab. Not a bad soul bounty for her either. And for our efforts, we get her armor set, although there is one piece of it that I cannot quite fit in the inventory right now. May need to make a stop with Thomas, but for now we can just use our strength ring. Wonder why I have so much weight right now. I didn't think I was carrying anything that crazy. Maybe there's some stuff I forgot to drop off with Tommy Boy. Okay, the Master's Ring. And what else? Ah, the boots. Okay. Just had to get that last piece of the armor set. Now, what was the Master's Ring? Did we already have one of those? Because that sounds really familiar. Ah, yes. Apparently there's a duplicate. Fair enough. Now, as for that armor... Binded Cross. As you can see, it is an upgrade from the Wizard's Clothes in every way except weight. It is an armor crafted from cloth and leather. Leather straps are wrapped around the width and breadth of the armor. In Boletaria, it is the equipment of an executioner, especially Executioner Miralda, who was known for her lunacy and her beautiful voice, which did not trigger. The Binded Cross is for women only, and pound for pound, it's probably one of the better armors in the game if you want to keep it light. Let's see if we can keep our regular roll putting on some Binded Cross stuff. It also looks cool, so that's an additional benefit. And we could put on the hood, but I really like the coachman's hat, and I don't want to cover up Salad's lovely face, so we'll leave that off. Yeah, we're all wrapped up in leather and chains and shit. We're metal. But we're fat rolling. That won't do. Okay, what can I take off? Let's take off the gloves and see if that fixes matters. That's a negative. Alright, how about the boots? Much better. And we still get to wear the cool-looking dress. We can put on the rest of the Binded Cross stuff another time if we have the room to spare. For now, there are some more things we can do in there, but I'd really better unburden myself with Thomas because I'm going to have some really, really heavy shit to deal with shortly. Matter of fact, I hope the Herculean Strength ring will even be sufficient to collect it. But we will find out.
I have you now, wretched traitor to the king. I, Miralda, shall show you no mercy. Are you dead already? Oh, you deserve it.
Ah, I did forget to drop off the Great Axe earlier, and that is 10 units. So that definitely was weighing me down a bit. We will, as usual, drop off our stones as well. There's no reason not to. And always a worthy question is whether that will give us enough upgrade stuff to get another level on our shield, bow, or spear.
We are in...
No problem, Tom.
I can...
Also, our stuff does need a bit of repair. Okay, winged spear. And we still need lots of chunks for that. Longbow, we need some more large hardstone. And PFS, we need lots of large splitters. Okay, so no upgrading right now.
Do...
However, we should be awfully close to a level.
Then, soul of the mind.
Yep, we just need another 1100.
Lost. I shall await. I am.
That should be easy enough to come by. Actually, let's put a consumable soul on our bar here and make life a little easier. We can't use a bunch of them at a time, but we can put them on the quick access and just mash the button through them. Okay.
Thou then, soul of the mind, key to life's ether, soul of the lost withdrawn from its vessel. Let strength be granted so the world might be mended. So the world might be mended.
Let's give us a little more HP.
Art thou done?
Right. Let's head on back and see what else can be done in Miralda's area. And here we are. I killed the gecko again, but this time all it dropped was regular splinters of hardstone, which is kind of a bummer. At any rate, Miralda does not respawn, as most NPCs don't. We are now in the body dumping area. That look familiar? Yep, in 1-1, one of the very first unusual things we saw was a grate in the floor where a bunch of souls were swirling around, and this is where they dump all the corpses from all the folks that they execute up there. There's so many nice, subtle kinds of world building in so many of the Souls games. It's something FromSoft is quite good at. Ring of Poison Resistance. Do we already have one of those? Yep. Bunch of duplicates in this area. I suppose that's just as well. I want to give people another chance to collect something if you miss it in a very missable location. Now, once I get the lay of the land here, we're going to have to do some tricky beam walking, because somewhere around here there are things on one of these beams that we're going to want to connect. Oh, there is one right now. And when I get back up this ladder, I'll try and find myself a way of descending so we can collect that without dying. And there's one of those poor, unfortunate souls who ran afoul of Miralda and the king. Got himself thrown down the body dump and did not even make it to the bottom. Right about now, I'm really wishing they had debuted ladder sliding in this game, but no. We must descend at this glacial pace. Another lovely detail. Water down at the bottom with all kinds of corpses floating in it. Now here is that very heavy bit of business that I was talking about. Do I have... Yes, I do still have the Herculean Strength Ring equipped, which is good. Hopefully that'll actually be enough to collect this. Yes, the Brushwood set. This is some badass heavy armor. Matter of fact, I believe it is what Bjor wears. And the Brushwood shield, I think, has the same maximum stability as the Purple Flame shield, and is actually better at being a flame shield than the Purple Flame shield in that it blocks 100% of fire damage. However, if memory serves, it is significantly heavier, and I think it might also require a rare upgrade material to improve. Let's compare. So our weight there is 8.0. Weight here is 13.0, and it requires another 4 points of strength to actually wield. So, Brushwood Shield, we're probably not going to be showing it any action in this particular playthrough. But still, at least it's something to take back and stuff into Thomas's inventory. As a little proof we were here, I suppose. What a thrill. With darkness and silence through the night. I want that. I'll figure it out and fall down to you. Ah, there we are, finally. It wouldn't be a Souls game if there wasn't a little very careful, narrow path walking. Sometimes it's mandatory, as with the Anne Orlando flying buttress area. Now, how do I drop from here in a way that will not make me die and will actually land me on the beam below? Does it go all the way to the wall there? I think it do. So if I walk straight, will I land on it? Let us proceed carefully. I'm very slowly inching the analog stick forward. Okay, didn't even take much fall damage. That worked out quite well. And, if memory serves, the prize here is a rather good one. Yeah, there we go, our very first Colorless Demon Soul. Let's take a look at that. The soul of a primeval demon. You don't really feel any power. The Colorless Demon Soul, actually just finding one out here in the open, is quite rare. There are only a few that are actually scattered around the levels. For the most part, they have to be obtained by slaying primeval demons. And primeval demons are very rare indeed, and in fact require... I don't think it quite requires pure black, but it requires pretty black world tendency in order to actually make primeval demons spawn. We'll surely be seeing one eventually, but for now, it's nice to have a Colorless Demon Soul without actually having to hunt and kill one. Colorless Demon Souls, by the way, are that very rare upgrade material I was talking about. For certain rare and unique bits of equipment, the only way you can upgrade them is with Colorless Demon Souls. I believe the Tower Shield is one such, the Brushwood Shield might be as well. The Chris Knife is another one. So lots of stuff that you would really like to upgrade for certain purposes, but can't do it with any kind of standard stone. Also, I believe, with Urbane, there is a miracle that can only be obtained by trading 3 Colorless Demon Souls. And if memory serves, it's not worth it. But let's see if it appears on his list if we go back and say hello to Urbane again.
Do you?
Nope.
Yes, but you must...
Yes, we should take a look at this. The Brushwood armor is a piece of the old armor owned from long ago by the Boletarian royal family. It especially holds off flames. It is known as Bior of the Twin Fangs equipment. As it is tremendously heavy, stamina regeneration is largely impaired. That's another thing that's important in Demon Souls. Heavy armor really cuts your stamina regeneration rate. So, in addition to just the raw weight of it, that's another disadvantage of the heavy stuff. So, I've been doing a little housekeeping, collecting a few treasures that I had left on the Dragon Bridge before, and things like that. And in cleaning up a few of the additional crystal gecko spawns that we got from killing bosses, I procured a few more pieces of large hardstone, and that should be enough to upgrade our bow one more level, which will then allow me to give it its final upgrade using the soul of the armor spider. So here we are at Ed. And we'll see if this works out. It really should. There we go. Compound longbow, +7. Which can now be upgraded to the Lava Bowl. Lava Bowl? Lava Bow. A longbow with a stem like a spider's leg. A weapon born from the soul of the demon armor spider, it bestows a flame attribute upon all arrows fired. So that's what's cool about the Lava Bow. All arrows fire arrows. Take a look at the stats here. Shot range is actually a little worse, as is physical attack, but that is not factoring in that fire damage. So I'm gonna take it. Also, as far as bows go, the dexterity requirement is pretty modest, and that certainly helps. Very good. I'll just take a moment to repair my shit. Gotta keep the hat in fine condition, that's for sure.
All done?
Now, there's one more thing I'd like to check. You may recall my mentioning that pure white world tendency sometimes seems to make the dragons go away from their roost in Boletaria, and sometimes it doesn't. So I'm going to see if that in fact has happened, so we can collect the remaining treasure there. Well, shit. There they are. Alright, bit of a wasted trip, but that happens. So, I've been doing a lot of running around this episode that I'll have to edit out, but all the same, I see we're already at about an hour of raw recording time. So, finishing another Archstone area seems very unlikely. But I don't want this episode to be nothing but Miralda and housekeeping, so we're going to start our next level and just see how far into it we can get before the video length gets too ridiculous. Now, we do have the option of going to 1-4 at this point, Boletaria Palace being the only Archstone that has a 4th area. But, story-wise, and just sort of atmosphere-wise, 1-4 is the best regular final level. In fact, I'm kind of surprised that they let you get into 1-4 before you finished all the other Archstones, but I guess that's FromSoft for you. They like to give you a fair amount of freedom. So we'll be saving that one for last. For 2, we will be saving for next to last, because it's a total bitch. We could start 5, but we could do with a little more seasoning before then, which leaves us Archstone number 3, the Tower of Latria. Latria, the land of the ivory tower realized by the queen. An old man killed the queen and locked her family in jail with an inhuman guard where only screams are heard. Sounds like a wonderful place. Let's visit. Here we are. Lovely Latria. I have a real love-hate relationship with this level. I love how atmospheric it is. It's very gloomy and oppressive and just creepy. On the other hand, it's really creepy, and I do generally get a little creeped out and paranoid navigating it. Also, this is probably the easiest level in the game when it comes to getting lost, which for me is a bad thing indeed. It is also quite long. But yeah, the Tower of Latria, really, really well done atmosphere. Matter of fact, it is director Hidetaka Miyazaki's favorite level in the game. Now, he is biased because 3-1 is the only level that he actually personally designed. But he really does love the dark and creepy atmosphere of it. And tried to recapture the magic a little bit with Irithyll Dungeon in Dark Souls 3. Irithyll wasn't a half-bad shot at it. I don't know if it quite worked out as well as Latria, but yeah, that was definitely the inspiration for Irithyll Dungeon. Okay, over there, we have our main concerning enemy type for the Tower of Latria. That is a Mind Flayer. Yep, ripped straight out of D&D. They are the guards of the Latria prison. And that bell you hear ringing from time to time, that's them. They carry bells with them at all times. Which can be good for you, because that's a way that you can possibly hear them coming before you see them. You want to ambush them. It is an extremely good idea to ambush them. So we are going to wait for an opportunity where we can just creep up behind this one. Seems to have a pretty straightforward patrol path, so that shouldn't be too bad. Now, once you get into melee range, the Mind Flayers will die fairly easily. But if you give them a chance to fuck you up, there is an excellent chance they will. Alright, he should be turning around right about now. Time to do some stabbing. And one backstab does the job. Marvelous. They also tend to drop spice, which is a lovely thing indeed, because spice can get expensive, especially if you're playing a caster build.
Please, help me.
You probably heard that. Someone calling for help. We'll have to keep that in mind. Another thing kind of irksome about the Tower of Latria, there sure are a lot of keys. Also, there are sometimes holes in the walkways, which the darkness can make rather difficult to see. Third floor cell key. Is this the third floor? I have no idea. It is. A duplicate of the wizard set. Well, if you don't start as a royal, that's where you get it. Hey guys. Some of the, I guess we can't call them hollows in this game, but some of the, sort of zombified prisoners here, some of them will attack you, some of them are completely docile. I don't think there's really any way of knowing which they're going to be, except for seeing if they attack you.
Please, help me.
I will, eventually. Probably going to be a little while before we can properly help him. And we haven't even met him yet. I guess it stands to reason that this would be the third floor. You can definitely see at least one more floor below us, and yep, there's another one. And we can see a mind flayer drifting around there. Might be able to get a bow shot off on him, so we don't have to worry about him later. Whether it'll be possible, I'm really not sure because of this fence in our way, and the fact that this is the farthest down we can aim. But when he gets into an appropriate spot in his patrol path, I'll see if I can take a shot at him. Now this is risky because they have their own projectiles, which are pretty strong. Oh! Okay, fire damage fucks their shit up pretty good, I see. Oh, and he's gonna have a hard time hitting me, it looks like. Still trying to find me. And dead. Very nice. I don't think I knew that was possible. Not sure I ever even tried that in previous playthroughs. Well, it just goes to show, even when you have a decent knowledge of the game, it can pay to experiment. Lots of torture equipment and various bloodstains and so on scattered around the Tower of Latria. Just adding to the lovely mood of the place. Oh, hello, friend. You've got physics. I find as I proceed, it is a good idea to keep my eyes turned downward, because I can never really remember where the holes in the walkways are. They can be very, very well concealed by the darkness indeed. Hi, guys. That wasn't very nice, you know. One thing that's kind of annoying if I die and have to come back this way is once you open cell doors, they stay open, which means the dead guys can just run right out and attack you. But that is the price we pay for thoroughly exploring the area. Now, we've got a path over this way, and I seem to vaguely recall there being a guard somewhere in this vicinity whose patrol path crosses this way, and I do hear a bell. Let me stand here and watch for a moment and see if one passes in front of me. Also, something very glowy is happening in that cell across the way. We'll want to keep that in mind. Oh, hi there. Okay, that's where his patrol path ends. So... another good thing about them being fairly easy to kill in melee, they stun a bit when you whack them, so a single combo can often do the job. It is when they notice you before you notice them that they're really dangerous. Seems to be a decent supply of mercury stone around here. I think that's for poison weapons? Poison weapons are not super exciting in Demon Souls, but Poison Cloud can be pretty handy. And the Poison Kunai have their occasional uses as well. I see a lantern down there, which means another octopoid. It looks like he's just going to walk back and forth across that spanning walkway there. Yep, that appears to be his gig. Let's rush in. Dead. Doing very well with the guards so far. I know better than to count on that being consistent from here forward. But so far so good. And I'm always willing to accept so far so good. Oh hey, inscription. Prison of Hope, East 3rd floor. No, we did know we were on the 3rd floor. Probably shouldn't have killed him, he was just partying. Throwing his hands in the air like you just don't care. And here's where we would get the silver coronet if we didn't start as royal. All kind of stuff for the royalty hidden around in the various Latrian cells. As we shall see, the Prison of Hope is in fact a place royalty is sometimes imprisoned. It's going to be a little while before we can explore that aspect directly, though. Oh, I see a glowy. That would appear to be more key. Another key for the 3rd floor, indicating that there's still a passable amount of 3rd floor left to explore. Oh! Jerk. That is something I forgot they can do. Stab you through the bars. Well, there's plenty of room to slip a knife through, I suppose. Lots of prisoners, locked up with mercury stone. I don't know why that would be. And looks like this is the end of the line in this direction. Oh, there's another friend. There's another Octi-friend. Can I shoot him like I did his buddy in a similar patrol path? We will find out. Just keep an eye on how he's moving. Wait for him to turn around, then find the right angle on him. And he goes a long way in that direction. noticed that. And you sure as shit noticed that. Fantastic. I really did not know it was possible to snipe these guys from the upper level a lot of the time. That's pretty cool. Oh yeah, we've got nowhere else we can go this way. That means backtrack. Oh, wow. I'm getting angles on all kinds of them here. His patrol path ends... Whoa. Hey there, camera. His patrol path ends... Yeah, I don't think I've got a clean shot at him. Alright. We'll just have to deal with him the hard way when the time arrives. Now then, with my new key, I think I go back around to the other branch and then open that portcullis that we previously could not. That is how I remember this working. But I am not entirely trustful of my memory, and for good reason. In any case, we've cleaned out that area pretty well. Dropped a couple of the mind flayers on lower floors. And as you've seen, we've been having pretty good luck with them so far. However, if things go bad with a mind flayer, they go really bad. All the screams and noises and the bells ringing in the distance, they just add to the creepiness of this level. I've said it before, but I really think that is just marvelously done. Now, this looks a little too familiar to me. I think we've got a patroller just on the other side of this fog gate, so I'm going to see if I can spot him. Is his patrol path going to carry him? Well, maybe not. No, this isn't where I thought it was. Never mind. I remember there's one doorway somewhere where if you just charge straight through it, you go right into a guard's patrol path. I thought it might be that fog gate, but it does not appear to be the case. And that's fine. I will just stay alert for similar locations where I might run into similar troubles. Whoa, hi. Startled me a little there. Not that they can do a huge amount of harm, but... no sense in taking any damage you don't have to. Now, these Iron Maidens, sometimes they contain shinies, and sometimes they contain zombie dudes who will stab you with a poison knife and inflict poison. So, with that in mind, off go the throwing knives. On go the Royal Lotuses, in the event I have to depoison myself. Matter of fact, I'm going to keep that ready to go as I open this. Oh good, it's a shiny. And a Stone of Ephemeral Eyes, which as we know, is not a bad shiny at all. Now, which way did I come from? I'm going to proceed very carefully because, as usual, I am not confident of where the holes are. It is so easy, with how dark this area is, to walk forward a little too fast, not really watch where you're going, and plunge right down one. I have died more than once that way, and I am not keen to do it again. Nothing personal, guys. I just want that item you got in there. Oh, don't have the key for it. Oh well. Ooh, over there. That portcullis. I think that's where the Mind Flayer is. I think that's the patrol path I was thinking of. West 4th floor. It's not incredibly useful to know what the name of the area you're in is, but I suppose any landmark is a good landmark. Yep, there he is. Did he notice me? No. Nope. No, he's just turning around and going along his merry way. So we ain't got to tangle with him quite yet. Now, am I crazy or someone's singing opera? Ooh, all kinds of stabby gentlemen in here. This must be where they keep the problem prisoners. Someone is definitely singing opera. That is disconcerting. Ooh, hi guys. This is really where they keep the problem prisoners. Are there any Iron Maidens in here? No. It's a lovely voice, just very disconcerting. I always like to stab those pots, because there's bits of smoke just drifting about. Tend to unsettle me sometimes. Oh, I saw another dude on the other side of this cell. There's another door exiting on the other side of it. So, must be careful of Mind Flayer when approaching that direction. Forewarned is forearmed. I'll go ahead and get him out of the way because his positioning makes me uncomfortable. Once again, one of the best ways of dealing with them is to wait for the end of their patrol path for them to turn around and just get all up in their shit and kill them quickly. Ooh, we got all kind of keys. Let's go back, see if we can open that one door that we couldn't previously. And see if there's anything in here, of course. Iron Maiden, I'm suspicious. Let's get the Lotus out. Okay, I've never seen that happen before. He just kind of phased a little bit up into the air and was unable to hit me. I thought that was like a completely automatic hit that you would always take. Assassin gear. Interesting. You have to take a little look at that at some point. For now, though, there was that big cell where it looked like there were some nice things in it. Let's see if one of our new keys will gain us access to that. If I can find where it was again. Also, I may do away with this guy, just so I don't have to worry about him in the future. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do that. Oh, Senpai noticed me. But lost interest pretty damn quickly. No, he's kind of shuffling around there. I'm not sure if he's aware of me or not. Or if he knows I'm around here somewhere and just isn't sure quite of where. Oh, going back on patrol. Okay, good. Every time I kill one of those guys, I feel a little better about navigating Latria, which just goes to show how potentially dangerous they are. If I don't actually get into a proper stand-up fight with one at some point, I'll tell you what they're capable of doing to you. But it is distinctly possible that I'll end up showing you, inadvertently at some point, so I'll hold off on that for the moment. Now, what kind of good shit do we have in here that was being protected so well? Claws, huh? We did get one of those earlier from an assassin, so I guess we could dual claw if we wanted to. Secret dagger. I don't remember what that is. A slash-based weapon. Inflicts heavy damage upon soft flesh, but conversely has limited effect on metal armor and hard scales. Also, daggers have a great effect after parries and close-range stabs from behind the enemy. It's got a perfectly generic dagger description. Well, I guess that is a unique item. Probably not really worth locking away the way they did, but whatever. Make sure there's nothing else along this path that I cannot open. Actually, way back at the beginning, way back in that very first area, there was a key, or there was a door, rather, that we didn't have the key for. I'm going to do a little backtrack and see if I can figure out what that was all about.
Please, help me.
I'll help you as soon as I can, bro. Gotta find you first. Wonder why this was locked. There doesn't really seem to be anything of merit in it. Yeah, there's our first mind flayer again. Memories. I don't think there's anything else here that we have left unopened. No, wait, we aren't clear back to the beginning, are we? Yeah, maybe we are, maybe we are. Because, yeah, we came around the bend here and met our first mind flayer. Okay. So, yeah, I have no idea why that was locked up. Nothing of tremendous value there. Whew! Got myself all kind of lost there. But we're good now. We're back at this portcullis that we unlocked here, and where that mind flayer was on his patrol. Where'd his body go? Huh. Maybe it despawned or fell off the railing there. No matter. The important thing is, I know where I am. We've got a new place to explore opened up in front of us. This ought to be a reasonable place to leave off. A little bit of a housekeeping episode today, but we took care of Miralda, we got to know Yuria, and we made a little bit of headway into Latria. All in all, a fine day's work, I should think. As always, everybody, thank you very much for watching. It is always a pleasure having you along, and I hope to see you again next time when we continue our invasion of the Tower of Latria. Until then, this is signing off. Today's Can't Spell Executioner Without Cutie has been brought to you by Justin Carpenter, Nolden, Zangamarth, Anonymous Benefactor, John Madigan, Sanguine Games, Misha Van Doren, Frank Rizzi, Tim J., Lolo De Puzzlo, Joshua C. Ritchie, Jared C. Rice, Sonic Rose, EX Potemkin, Mechasaurus, DG Jono, Doug Russell, Dodecalope, Patrick Bellinger, Jarogue, Martin Schoenmakers, Mayo the Hedgefox, Hildegard Argelmach, IGV, Jazel, Joseph Hall, Hot Mayo Sandwich, Dan Larson, K. Ivan Rupert, Tiny Shopkeeper, Charlie Dunst, Kikoskia, Kobo4231, Alex Beyer, Yuka Takeuchi Fan, Chaotic Narrative, McCaffrey Crandall, Mystery Accent, Lakota, Mei Yan Ling, Renaman, Fate Everywhere, Rio, and other dead patrons walking. As ever, my deep and profuse thanks for your very generous support, and thank you everyone subscribing, commenting, or just plain watching. I am always pleased and really rather flattered when you choose to spend some of your day with me. Take care out there, everybody. Be good to you and each other, and I'll see you real soon.